Hi everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing another MyFuture activity. Today's activity is all about graphic design. So from the MyFuture programs page, you're going to select the design badge, and then once you get into there, there's a few different options. We're going to select the one that says graphic design. So once you get into this graphic design program page, it's going to give you a little information about what graphic design is, who uses it, what it can be used for, and then it's going to ask you to go on to this website called Vector, which is what a lot of people use to make logos and make graphic designs for their companies. Once you get into Vector, you're going to hit the Use Online button, so you can actually use the whole program just from your internet browser on your computer. And we're going to be doing the Design Your Own Logo Challenge today. I'm going to be making a logo for Keeping Up with the Club, which is our Instagram live series that we're doing on the Watertown Boys and Girls Club Instagram page on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5 p.m. So tune into that. The first step that I went through was I decided to look at some other logos that a lot of popular companies use, and what I saw when I was going through these logos is that they're all really simple. So you want to keep your design pretty simple. So after I looked at those, I opened up Vector. So Vector has a bunch of different stuff that you can add into your logo. I'm going to start with a rectangle because rectangles are pretty basic. I want to keep things simple. So I'm going to make that rectangle nice and big, and then I'm going to center it as much as I can onto the middle of my page. And then I'm going to add a few circles because circles are my favorite shape. Because this is a logo for Keeping Up with the Club, I'm going to have 4 circles to represent the 4 people, the 4 staff members that we're keeping up with. So myself, Sunny, Rhodey, and Sajda. And then now that I have these 4 circles, I'm going to move them a little bit closer together just to kind of simplify things a little bit. When you make a logo, you don't want people to be like looking everywhere, searching for parts of your logo. So I'm going to move them all a little bit closer together. It's pretty easy to get things aligned, so like set up properly on Vector, because as you can tell when it works right, once I'm moving these circles, little lines will come up just like that, so I know that all of my shapes are lined up correctly. I want to get them kind of symmetrical, as close to symmetrical as I can get them. So once I have them lined up pretty much how I want them, I can go in and there's a couple more shapes that I can get. I'm going to add this little location shape to my design because it seems kind of techy, hip, you know, I like to stay cool, stay relevant. So I want to keep up with all the internet trends. Everyone's going online these days. So I'm going to add that in there, and you can see when I added that in that it will come up with the size of the image. So it's actually telling me that it's roughly the same size as all my circles, which I like. So now that I have all that symmetrical, I'm gonna try to add a border to my image. So I'm gonna add another rectangle right here, and I'm going to pull it all the way across my screen, and it will make everything else disappear, but I can hit this button up here at the top, send to back, and if you just keep hitting that, everything else in your image will come up until this rectangle is behind everything. So now I'm pretty happy with my logo, but it looks really complicated. It looks kind of messy because there's a ton of different colors, so I'm going to switch up the colors a little bit. I love blue, so I'm going to make my logo pretty blue-centric. So I have that color, and then keep it simple with a white, and then I'm going to go with just a little bit of a lighter blue for the circles. I want to make sure that the shade of blue is the same in all my circles. I don't want to guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the code from the first circle that I make in my nice light blue, and I'm just going to copy and paste that into the color code box for all of the other circles until they're all the same color. And then I want my background to be the same color blue because you don't want to have that many different colors in your logo. Like I said, keep it simple, so I'm just going to make that the same color blue too. Looks really nice, but no one knows what it's for. So we have to add a little more information to our logo. So you can actually do, I'm going to add a rectangle, and I'm going to choose to add an image. And so then instead of changing the color, it's going to give me the option to put in an image that I want to use for this. So I'm going to choose the Boys and Girls Club logo so everyone knows that it's for the Boys and Girls Club. I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna drag it right down to the bottom. You see that line? That's how I know that my picture is centered. Okay, so now I have my logo in there, but it's not just for the Boys and Girls Club, it's for keeping up with the club. So I'm gonna add a text box, which I can do by just hitting that text button. Make sure that you highlight the text box before you start typing, otherwise it will just overlap with the box that says text. And I'm gonna write keeping up with the club, club with a K, obviously. I don't really love this font, so I'm gonna change it. They have so many different fonts that you can choose from. I want to pick one that's not super boring, but that you can still actually read. So none of these crazy cursive ones. I want to go, yeah, that looks nice. It's still a little small, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go until I see those arrows, and then I'm going to use those arrows. I'm just going to drag it and make my text a little bit bigger. And then I want to make sure it's centered. I see that line, so I know that it's centered. And then I can just take a quick screenshot of that, and I have my totally cool, totally awesome, never been done before, super, really just excellent logo that I made myself. I hope that you guys all make your own logos at home. If you do, you can upload them to the MyFuture page. You can send us an email. You can DM us on Instagram. You can make a TikTok about your logo and tag us in it. Watertown BGC. Shout out. Definitely tune into our live Keeping Up with the Club this Thursday at 6 p.m. We really want to hear from you guys, so we hope to see you there.